Hey friends, welcome back to AI Empowered, the complete guide to AI for your personal and professional life. So, we just talked about how to develop your own personal AI uses in your profession and build that competitive advantage in your career. Well, I want to continue that idea in this module to talk about driving that change in others in your organization. You can really be this driving force of empowerment as an AI empowered individual yourself by expanding the capabilities of the team, by developing this AI usage, sharing it across the team and organization, and empowering these AI first ways of working, not just for yourself, but for others as well. I think that this is really such an opportunity for you in your career to be, that change that really drives positive value in the company, but also to be seen as a leader in this space. You're moving from beginner, intermediate techniques of AI use into this master thought leader on how to use AI effectively. And so it's a really exciting time for you to be moving from just really using it well to leading in this area. And it's quite easy to do because AI is such a powerful tool. It's easy to get people to buy in when they feel the power that's at their fingertips. It just takes somebody like you to show them the way. So if you've come along on this journey and you understand the quality of the output that AI can give and how you can integrate it into your workflow, there's a really amazing opportunity for you to lead others with these same techniques. So I want to share with you a collaborative AI system that transforms individual competency into exponential team capabilities. It's how leading organizations are looking at building an AI first culture and creating innovation through that sort of team-based approach of AI use. I think a lot about how to lead teams. And most recently, in my role as head of operations and product at an AI transformation company, I really try to empower these teams to think about a holistic approach to AI integration into the way that they work so that everybody is feeding their knowledge and skills into the AI use so that you can really achieve that exponential growth. I'm really passionate about this area because I've led a lot of teams, and I can tell you from experience, a team is a really powerful place to be in an organization. And we kind of take them for granted because you're kind of always part of a team. But working within that team environment, it really allows you to, work with the strengths of everybody and cover each other's weaknesses. It's something that with your human to AI interaction that you've developed throughout this course, but it's something that along with working within that team atmosphere and with AI, you really can get this complete coverage and achieve this really incredible growth when everybody is interacting with AI. So by the end of this video, you'll master the collaborative AI framework that transforms a collection of individuals as a team into that unified intelligence system, creating organizational capabilities that separate your team from another organization's. And therefore, when an organization experiences this change across all levels of the organization, that's when that true AI transformation occurs. So you can be a driving force in that change. And if you are, I guarantee you'll be rewarded for that within your organization. You're further developing your competitive advantage because you're establishing yourself as a leader and with one of the most powerful technologies that all organizations are trying to figure out how they can use effectively. If you can establish yourself as a leader in AI in your organization, I guarantee you your career trajectory is just going to skyrocket because you're going to be able to do so much more and help change others' ways of working to empower them and by proxy the whole organization. You're going to be invaluable. Right now, most teams are using AI individually. Everybody is sort of tinkering around with the different tools at their disposal and thinking about it on a more of an individual basis, which is okay. We all need to start somewhere. But I really encourage you, once you've feel comfortable with the techniques that we've developed in this course to start to share these ideas with others. I've touched on different points in these modules to really radiate the knowledge that you've been building so that people can take the context and prompts and things that you've built and use them in their own roles. But I think it's really important to be an advocate for the technology as well. So be somebody who has open discussions about AI. You can start to educate people with what you know, have deep conversations about different concerns as well, fears about job security, data protection, some ethical concerns that have arisen, and really start to understand where your organization is at and where you can move them into a more mature way, a more sophisticated way of using AI. You really should think about these as collaborative systems with your team. So AI has an amazing ability to synthesize a lot of information and help you communicate. Well, if you can talk to AI in a way that helps you to be that leader, I encourage you to think of it as that systematic approach to how you're leading with your team, how you fit into the greater organizational structure, and how AI is really going to help you navigate these things and get ahead and lead. Early adoption in these teams gives you that special advantage as being somebody who is an expert in this field. This is a rapidly emerging area, and I just think you have a real opportunity to get ahead and be somebody who's an expert in how AI works in your role. So develop that way of working and then start to share with others how they can empower their own work with AI. Professional leaders are transforming. We're seeing this seismic shift in knowledge workers. You're going to need to be able to lead not just yourself, but AI. Think of yourself as this orchestrator of all of these powerful interactions with not just teammates, but with AI as well. Individuals can only get so far. When you work within a system and really work together, it can empower you with the knowledge of all of these people and also the skills. And now with AI that can act in all of these really dynamic ways, you have an amazing opportunity to just empower everybody else and then all work together as an empowered team. So I want to go into something that I call the team framework. This is another acronym that we're going to talk about, a systematic approach that transforms that individual to more of that collaborative intelligence system. So the acronym TEAM stands for template standardization. So that's creating shared AI frameworks that ensure consistency across team outputs. That's expertise sharing. So build systems for capturing and distributing team AI knowledge and best practices. A is alignment systems. So ensure collaborative AI efforts align with team goals and organizational objectives. And then finally, monitoring the integration. So implement quality control, not just for your individual AI output, but for the performance measurement of the whole team. You really want to make sure that everybody is aligned on the quality that AI is outputting within their individual use, but when you come together and produce a deliverable as a team. Okay, this is a really important piece because not everybody will have the same standards as you. And this is just a natural part of doing business in a team. You may disagree on the quality of certain things and what needs to be delivered, but being very clear on these success criteria to make sure everything is quality assured. And that's a really important piece to get high quality output from the whole team. This collaboration integration process has 4 parts to it. So a team assessment. So evaluate current AI skills and identify collaboration opportunities between you and other team members and how AI fits into that. Look at the frameworks you're working with and develop them with AI. Build shared templates, processes, and quality standards. Understand the knowledge systems you're working within as an AI-empowered team. Create repositories or shared information about AI expertise and best practices so that everybody can come together and understand what's expected from the AI use and what the regulations and compliance are within this team structure. And then performance integration, really measure that quality and use the KPIs that exist within your organization that your team is being tracked on for its success and feed those directly into the success criteria that you're moving forward to with a team. The team framework really enables that transformation from just that individual user to having a whole group of people empowered with AI, which just furthers that exponential growth that you can achieve. So I want to talk a little bit about the shared knowledge-based development because it's a key piece to setting that context across a team. In agile project management and in all project management, it's really important to have these information radiators, is what we call them. And it's easy access to transparent information about the progress of the project. And it's a very similar thing with this shared database of knowledge. You want to set the context for the whole team and have everybody provide their input into how they're working with AI and what's working best for them and the certain uses within the team. So build those template libraries, which build shared connections to proven AI prompts, frameworks, and processes. Develop best practice documentation to capture that shared successful AI frameworks and also how we're working within the regulatory or compliance standards of our organization. Look at the quality standards. So establish that success criteria for everybody so that nobody is creating output that is essentially useless. Make sure that everybody is continually refining their outputs so that they can achieve better results over time. Keep that continuous learning loop integral to this use. And then expertise distribution. Enable team members to leverage specialized AI knowledge from different areas so that everybody benefits from the collective domain, different specialization domain knowledge that exists within every team. So I just want you to come away with this idea that shared knowledge and shared sort of empowerment with these tools is really going to set you, your team, your organization apart from others. This is what we talk about when we talk to our clients about AI first organizations. It's really this culture shift of being very open and have these very well documented processes for AI so that everybody can come together on the same page and really take their work to the next level. Okay, so how do we really integrate the workflows into a team setting? It's hard enough to try to find personal use cases for AI. How are you going to complicate things by having such a dynamic team setting and really try to bring forward workflows that you believe AI could benefit from? Well, no surprise, I believe you should take a systematic approach to this process so that you can generate buy-in from all of the team. They understand that you're taking a really logical, practical approach to AI being integrated into the team. And you may find some resistance from team members. So really bringing the value, showing them, getting them to understand how AI is moving the needle in terms of how you work is a really good way to start the conversation. Just show people, hey, this is what I did. I did this with AI. Yeah, I think you can see the quality. Let's talk about if you're comfortable working with AI and how we can really integrate it into things across the team. I think that's a good place to start, but I'm interested in hearing where your conversations are going in your organization about AI, because it's a really interesting place with all of the information and hype swirling around. There's a lot of fear. This is going to be a really important piece to get right when you're trying to push your organization or your career forward with AI. But let's get back to how we actually integrate it into these teams. So you want to do the similar way of integrating into your personal life. Start with that process mapping. Identify the optimal integration points and just know where it's best for you to start putting AI into your workflows. Look for that role definition so that you can clearly state who's doing what and what is AI's part in that process, and clearly define those things so that people don't feel like AI is really taking over their work. Don't put the expectation on them to do things with AI, or I'll just replace you with AI, or something along those lines. Come to them with the clear benefits that you have gained from AI and show them that they can do things like this. Really try to empower them to believe that enhancing their own capabilities is only going to be a good thing for them in the short and long term. What's another interesting piece is how do we cover knowledge across teammates and their AI use when teams change? People get sick, people leave. So you need to establish these clear procedures for understanding where people are at with their AI use and applying those uses in changing situations. So, for example, if somebody is sick, make sure that when teams change, it can help bridge that organizational knowledge gap so that you can recover from these changes quicker. And then finally, really be clear about these quality assurance standards. So implement systematic review of like the success criteria and making sure that everybody's AI output is achieving these things, because we've touched on in the past how you can get into trouble putting AI output into the world that isn't quite ready, or even worse, has factual inaccuracies. Really think about these aspects when you're integrating things into the team. Be mindful of people's emotions and fear and cultural differences on AI use. It's a really challenging technology to be confronted with something that is so capable. So really understand why people may be resistant to AI. Try to be an advocate for responsible, safe, effective use, that you think that it can empower them and actually create a competitive advantage in their career as well. I truly believe that. So I hope that you can approach it in that way as well. But I'm interested to hear some of your thoughts on AI use in the workplace and some of these cultural sort of resistance pieces that I've been touching on. I want to touch on also a cross-functional collaboration technique that expands outside of the team as well. So if you can establish this foundation for working with AI in a team, you can expand on that within the organization and work cross-functionally by showing people outside the team how powerful these techniques can be. So really think about who you're reporting to or your customers or other departments, and how can you be transparent and open and inspire others to use AI as well, so that you're really driving that change within the organization. Again, it's a really good opportunity to set yourself apart in your organization and be that leader that then is called upon in really important situations as AI develops, for you to be the person that people come to and say, how do we do this? How can we really take the knowledge and the leadership that you have and apply this in other areas? So it's a really good opportunity to interact with other departments and people above and below you to show them the power that you have with AI, so that you can really set yourself apart and excel in your career. So try to bridge the expertise across departments using AI to translate knowledge between different functional areas so that you can help other people understand what your team is doing effectively. You can also integrate different perspectives within AI use and combine multiple viewpoints to create a comprehensive analysis that reaches across department. You can be doing something for the team and you can work with AI to show the value that your project has in marketing or in finance or up to the C-suite. You can really drive home the impact of what you are all doing by applying AI in a way that helps others understand. You use them within those reports and make them more accessible to those other viewpoints. And finally, there's a really big opportunity for innovation in the way that you're working. If you can get buy-in from your managers and the tools that you have access to with AI, you can multiply creative capabilities through this systematic approach and really drive a new way of working within your work and the team's work. And then that can radiate across the organization, showing, wow, this team is doing things differently. They're doing things better. Let's learn from that team. And then you all benefit from that really advanced use of AI in that project. You know, I keep saying that your biggest limit is your imagination. If you can combine the imaginations of all the people in your team to really innovate the way that you're delivering a project, I think there's a really amazing opportunity for the way that we work to just completely transform in ways that we really can't anticipate. When you bring minds together and really workshop the ideas and find new ways of doing things, you really can achieve the impossible. So I hope that you're inspired by that message. And I hope that you can understand how powerful AI can be, not just individually, but as a team. You can really develop these new ideation systems like structured brainstorming, using AI to facilitate systematic ideation processes that combine that AI capability with your combined imagination. You can have this perspective multiplication. So generate multiple viewpoints across your team and have everybody kind of interact with all these different viewpoints to get full coverage, not just across the team, but with all these personas that exist within your project that you might have created in the process. When you're developing things like products and new novel ways of doing things, you can really start to drive concept development. So rapidly producing proof of concepts, new products, new features, all these things that can really be thrown around within the team in a really productive way to drive that value in a much faster way with AI. And then you really want to be able to document all of this. So use some systematic approaches to innovating. I've created some workshops that I've taken clients through that really drive home this idea of working in new ways with AI. I have some links down in the description, which you can access some of the resources that I've created in this context and leverage some of those things in your organization as well. But document your own ways that you're trying to innovate. Hold pilot groups, hold innovation workshops, specifically focused around AI use in a very specific goal context. And I think you'll be surprised at what you find when you really apply a team into innovating and using AI as this engine for ideation. It's a really powerful mix. It can be done in a half of a day. And you can find that you create some really potent ideas that are really novel in your industry and can produce some really amazing new ways to serve your customers. So one last thing I want to touch on is organizational knowledge development. Once you've expanded this capability within a team, you can really start to bring that forward to the organization and build these databases. This database structure can be put into a template that extends across different departments so that they can start to develop their own department AI database that serves them in their own needs. So really think about how institutional memory, training, acceleration for onboarding, competitive intelligence, all of these things fit into this context. And then finally, just with leadership and change management, you should really be tuned into the vision development, the change strategy, the skill development that your organization can use and leverage to really create that organizational competitive advantage, which is going to set companies apart from this AI race. And then finally, just start small and go big. I know we've covered some big topics, but act as an individual. Just share some of your experiences with others. Try to empower them to start to use AI into your workflows, and then start to build out that capability within the team, and then start to have conversations with your management and others about how you can start to standardize AI use in an organization if you're not at that level of maturity yet. I hope you gained something from this module. This is a really exciting area to differentiate yourself as a leader, to start to transform the way that your teams are working, and then really drive the change in the organization so that AI becomes a really integral part of that organization. I think, unfortunately, organizations that don't embrace AI run a real risk of being left behind. There's a real opportunity for you to drive the change in the organization and help your organization not just stay competitive, but to exceed industry standards and to become that leader in the space as well. And you'll be the leader at the front of that organization if you can develop these techniques as we have. So I hope you learned something. Take a look at the links in the description for more about myself and some of the resources I've created. Join the community. Let me know what you're thinking. How are you working with AI in your team? How are you driving that change in the organization? How are you becoming a leader in this space? Let me know what your journey looks like in your role with AI. Well, it was great to talk about this stuff. I think you can tell that I'm really passionate about this organizational culture element of AI. And I can't wait to see you become the leader that you're meant to be. Thanks, and I'll see you in the next episode.